Salut, bienvenue sur Nitro Speedrun pour une nouvelle interview d'un runner, et pas n'importe quel runner, parce qu'il a fait vraiment le show avec sa run Super 64 ans, blindfold. Donc la run sera en anglais, mais je vais tout vous sous-titrer bien évidemment. Hello Bubzia.
Hello, hello.
Can you introduce yourself, what you do globally on Speedrun, and
Yeah.
for how long have you been doing it?
Absolutely. So I'm Bubzia. I'm speedrunning mostly blindfolded things since I think around 8 years now. I've been to many events all over the world, many GDQs in the US, many RTA in Japan, ESA in Sweden, in Germany, within the country where I'm from. I've been to many local events as well, and yeah, online too. So now I can finally put France to the list as well, which I'm very happy about.
And our angle for interviews are really like the experience of the runner coming to the event, how they feel included, how they really fit in with everyone. And you said you've been in Japan. Do they speak Japanese in the Japan marathons, or do they speak mostly English?
It was 99% Japanese, I would say.
So similar experience to when you're coming here in France for SpeeDons, everyone here speaks French. So how do you handle this kind of events where you don't speak the main language of the event?
Yes, so usually people are very helpful. First of all, like when I have my commentators, for example, I reach out to them, and they are always super, super helpful in guiding me not only through the run, etc., but also the venue. For example, when I came here, I met Civil, who was my commentator, and he showed me around all of the venue basically. So I was very happy. I was a bit lost, I have to say. It's a huge venue though. That's completely on me.
But Civil helped you, but how about the staff or the organization of SpeeDons? Did they give you different resources for you to fit in?
Yeah, so in the whole application process and the resources, I think it was mostly in French. These days, what I usually did was just click the translate button, and it worked pretty well. I understood everything with it. Whenever there was direct questions to me, well, it's pretty funny. What usually happened is someone wrote me a private message in Discord, and they wrote it in French, and I usually just copy-pasted it into a translator, and I understood it. And then I just replied in English, yo, sorry, I don't speak really French. But here is this and this what you wanted from me. Okay. And then they switched instantly, oh yeah, sorry, we just went runner to runner. So it's a standard format. And then it was fine. Then we spoke in English, and everything worked out. So
yeah, because you're a pretty rare species here. SpeeDons has been mainly focused around French runners. We've had Waring Finn, who was a shmup runner that came and spoke a little French, but yeah, really mostly French people come running here. I think we had also a Trackmania. Oh no, Super Mario Kart runner. Super Mario Kart runner. So yeah, it's starting to open up to international. I'm very grateful for that. SpeeDons is huge because of the influencers being part of them. A huge public, huge demand to be at the venue, and the venue is this 3,000 places amphitheater. How does it compare to the other events?
Oh yeah,
is that different? Does that hit different?
It does hit different. Yes, it's very, very big, very fancy, especially. It's not just. It's also cool when you have just a room with lots of seats, and it's a great venue. But to see this full-on theater or opera or whatever you call it, it's crazy because it's such a different vibe. It's it feels so professional, So it's a really different feeling in my opinion.
Does it make running harder?
I mean, for me, not really.
For you, not really.
I liked it honestly because. Yeah, it was very when I took the headphones off at the end of my run, there was super nice audio. There was the echo of all the claps and stuff. So I enjoyed it honestly.
Could you hear from outside, or was the isolation kind of good? Were you struggling for the sound in your run?
When people started clapping, there was in the very background I could hear a tiny bit, but not much. Nothing
but it's loud enough in your ear for you.
Exactly.
They just told you to them to shush for the third brother throw, but
exactly. No, it was no problem at all.
Something I wanted to ask you as well was, would you come back to this kind of event in France, or maybe SpeeDons or other French events on site?
Yeah, absolutely. I personally really like traveling as well. So for me, it was very cool to be here in Lyon for the first time in my life. So it was nice that I could see both the city and then go to the venue, hang out with speedrunners and learn new people. And it's a great mix to like see something different. So I'm definitely always open, especially on site. It's always a different feeling than an online event. And yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, after being at ESA, like you realize when there's a lot of different national communities, you start speaking your own language with your peers, and then everyone starts reverting to English when they have to talk to each other.
Yes.
Maybe that's something that could happen to SpeeDons. So if that can encourage other English-speaking runners or like other language-speaking runners to come to SpeeDon, that would be really great. Like we love to have really cool showcases. Just be aware that the cast will always be in French in the room.
Yes, no, absolutely. If you want to go for it, definitely try. I assure you, it's a good experience.
What is the thing you look the most for when you go to a new event? Like, is it the venue, the people there, just like being accepted for a run, or do you have like specific criteria you aim for, or is it just like you want to do the most events possible?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's usually a mix of a bit of everything. So for me, it's very important to like engage a bit with the local communities. So right here, I was very happy to meet up with people that I know for years already. I've talked in the practice room, for example, with a Persian player who is running right now. We've known each other since day one when I started speedrunning, and we've never seen each other besides like online when we talked. So it was very cool to finally meet, you know, even if we don't speak much to each other, just like, yo, hi, what's up? It's like super cool. And so that's a huge part for me. Then of course, showcasing blindfolded or like my speedruns to the world is always like very fulfilling for me, because it's like a passion of mine that I have, and many people still don't know it. I feel it's still a very, very tiny niche inside speedrunning. So events like this usually attract many people who view it for like the first time, and that's always very important for me as well. And yeah, just as I said, a mix of everything, kind of like being in a new city, being around new people, hanging out, speedrunning, having fun.
Like I said, the facilities were fancy, but like also at SpeeDon, you have meal prepped for the runners. We have like a dedicated room to eat and everything. How do you feel like the facilities are being handled here at SpeeDon? Because it evolved a lot all through the years. Because like I remember second edition, there weren't really tables to sit. If you were like not in the amphitheater to listen, you had to sit on the floor. So yeah, we've come a long way. How do you think it feels when you're like in the venue outside of the main room to watch runs?
Very good. I have a very positive image here. As you said, it's first of all, for me, incredible to see that runners get a free meal for like their day of the run, for example. That's already like, as a runner, you know, you feel like appreciated. Like, okay, you come here all the way, like even if it's not from a different country, but still within the country, you need to travel here probably. So you feel like appreciated. Same with I think there was a tiny bit of a travel cost coverage, exactly. So I think that's a very good step for marathons in the future, because I personally saw that in the last few years that more and more runners try to, like they are a bit more not satisfied to go to other big events overseas, because it's just not financially worth it. Like it's cool to show your speed run on a big stage, for example, but you do it once, but then the second time, third time, for example, it's like you always think, yeah, but this is gonna cost so much money, this is gonna cost so much time, I need to take vacation at work and so on. So I think it's a very good step to actually start like putting a bit more effort into the runner and not just the show, if that makes sense. That was always like my opinion, and I think many other runners think these days like this too. So I think it's a great first step for sure.
It's a press conference.
Recently, SpeeDon has been called the biggest speedrunning event in Europe no one has ever heard of. That statement is due to the fact that the event is obviously in French and the language barrier just exists. What would you say about people who are feeling initially deterred about this language barrier? Is it worth to give the event a shot? And what would you tell them from your experience now as a runner? Yes,
I would say it's absolutely worth to go for. Like there is of course a language barrier, as I said, but these days it's so easy to just like hit a translate button and you know what everything is going on. So I think in this day and age it's like very, very easy, and comfortable to get around. And as I said, there is other runners, the staff, the volunteers, they all will help you out in English as well if you ask them kindly. I hope. so far it's been like this at least.
Yeah, like we're lucky. Like a lot of the people in the French-speaking community speak English because all the resources for speedrun are in English anyway. So you will always have people to help you.
I understand
anyway.
because it's the same in Germany. I think because if it's an event in Germany, everyone is going to speak German, of course. Like it's a local event after all. But still, if someone does only speak English, I think they are not automatically like excluded from the experience because if you just speak English and then people will also talk back to you in English. I think it's like a given. Yeah.
An observation that I've made in the past few days is that you don't need to speak the language in here to feel the atmosphere and just have a good time. Absolutely,
I agree. For example, in the practice room, what I noticed, like everyone is just like practicing the game, having fun and stuff, and even if I don't understand like what they're saying, it's still cool to just like sit there in between the runners and like, do your own practice, for example, and then you hear all the different hypes from the surrounding. It's cool. It's very cool. I like it.
So if you have a few shout-outs.
Absolutely. So as always, shout out to the Blindfolded speedrunning community. You guys are awesome. Blindfolded is still very, very small, and we are not many people, but it is very, very. It's a very kind community, I think. Because we are so small, everyone helps each other out, and we have great resources. Everyone helps each other. So if you want to go to, for example, blindfoldedgaming.com, you can find all the games, all the runs, and join our Discord. And huge shoutouts to my community as well. These past recent years have been so amazing, and the fact that I stand here in SpeeDons today is 100% actually due to my community being like behind my runs and supporting me. So huge shout outs to that. And shout outs to all the SpeeDons people as well. Like really appreciate that I could be here as an international guest.
Thank you very much, Bubzia. It was very insightful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.